Well, hello and welcome back to round 2 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship, the second live stream of the day, and as you can see the cars are already patched up and ready to go out for qualifying. This is the second session of qualifying for the World Supercars. Now, we're in the Värmland region of Sweden. You're very welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a real shame we can't have spectators here, but hopefully we're bringing you everything we can from the track and behind the scenes. Yesterday, as you will have seen, we had a lot of wet weather. Now, a whole bunch of new, fresh, wet tyres are ready on standby, but at the moment, it's staying nice and dry, and in the Värmland region, it's actually quite warm. Łukasz Baciuszka is already ready for the first race of qualifying, so let's have a look at, so in this live stream you will see qualifying 2 of World Rallycross, qualifying 4 of European Rallycross and qualifying 4 of Project E. Let's see if we can have a quick word with Łukasz. Do you want to just jump in there and I'll go around the front. Łukasz Baciuszka did not have a great qualifying 1. Let's see how he's feeling ready for qualifying 2. Łukasz, how are you feeling ready for qualifying 2?
Yeah, it's difficult, you know. It's some struggling on the setup of car, and yeah, it's just drive and enjoy the race. We are missing somewhere, but we hope we will find it. Yeah, but it is like it is, and try to do by my best and to be in the semi-finals. But yeah, it is like it is.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go around here. Now, interesting, I spoke to Derek Dauncey, who's the team manager of Hoonigan Racing, and he said that we need to look at Jani Parsonen's Fiesta and keep an eye on its launch. So that's one for you, Coley. If you keep an eye on how this launches off the line, apparently it does something different to the Fiesta historically. So we've got all the cars gathering over there, ready to come into the pre-grid. Now, if you didn't see qualifying 1 earlier, then let's bring you up to speed and we can recap what happened in qualifying 1.
First race of the day, Anton Markland on the inside, but good to see Liam Doran back on the grid. Doran with a lot of work to be done on that car overnight, broke the prop shaft ripped through a load of stuff, that caused a fire. Markland heading straight to the Joker lap again as he did yesterday, ended up with a race win from that. Sabo chasing Doran with a problem on the run to the jump. Watch this in the hairpin, tries to turn in, and you see the car snap and head the other way. We think something to do with the transmission, so Doran's team with more work to do. Markland pushed a tyre off the rim at the back of the car and actually did really well to hold on while Sabo took the flag. Bakkerud needing a much better result than yesterday alongside Ekstrom, his old teammate. Squeeze on Timosjana on the outside. Look at Kristoffersson, so committed around the outside. 4th gear, pitched it in for the whole shot. Ekstrom went Joker early, and this is how hard Kristoffersson had to try to protect his position. Watch how close it is at the merge. If anyone's in any doubt as to whether or not Johan has a massive advantage, that's the advantage. It's tiny. Ekstrom thinks he's got the pace of Johan. I think he has too. We could be in for a great fight. Kristoffersson have gone fastest at this point. Parsons on the inside. Next to him, Scheider, Schiesrit, Gronholm. Couldn't get enough of a start from the outside like Kristoffersson had. Couldn't get the cut back. Ended up behind Scheider. Let Scheider know he was there. No passing, and even with separate Joker lap strategy, he wasn't able to get the overlap. Scheider committing to the merge. Gronholm taking a fair amount of curb, but good driving between the two of them. And that is how they finished. Gronholm clearly got good pace, but couldn't find a way through. Final race of the session, the Hansons on the outside, Larsen on the inside, Baciuszka in the mix, but it was Ericsson who got the whole shot. Larsen straight to the Joker. If Ekstrom had a Joker like that at the start of his race, would he have got the merge? Tell you what, that's the kind of pass you want to see as well. Fully committed up the inside from Robin Larsen, hooked up wheels with Baciuszka and launched him just a little bit. Sebastian Eriksson slotting the car into a space that was absolutely tiny. 3 cars abreast over the crest into the velodrome. Larsen took the win, but it was Kristoffersson who took the session. Standings at the end of that first qualifying session. Kristoffersson wins Q1 as he did yesterday. Ekstrom, Larsen, Bakkerud, 4th place. That's more like it for the runner-up in the World Championship last year. Kevin Hansen, Timo Scheider, Gronholm and Timosjanov. Eriksson's in, Sabo's in, Schiesrit's in, Markland is in, but as you can see, Timmy Hansen with a bad Q1, he's 1 point out. You know, the champ is going to fight back from there, but it's not ideal. sunny day here in Hollius, waiting for the first of the cars to come down to the start grid. So last session was so close. It was 3:02.5 for Kristoffersson, 3:03.0 for Ekstrom. This time, of course, they go into speed order. I mean, we're going to see a brilliant race at the end of the session between our top guys. And this first race is going to be for those who had, I think, slight issues in the Q1. I'm looking to see if Doran's here, and I don't think he is. He is. Doran rolls into the back of the pre-grid now. Liam Doran, the GCK team have done a brilliant job to get GCK Monster Energy RX Cartel car back to the grid. Those guys have been put to work this weekend, they really have. All the teams saying it's super hard for the mechanics. Such a short turnaround between sessions. Dan, nice to see Liam on the grid.
Yeah, really good to see him back on the grid, and after having to sit out all day yesterday, at least this repair was quick enough to get him back out today. So be interested to see what he can do from the outside of the grid as he lines up for his dummy launch there.
Car looks healthy on that first launch, I think.
Yeah.
He's a great peddler, Liam, isn't he? We always say this, he's got incredible car control. He's definitely in a better place for me when he's the driver, not the team manager. The problem is Liam actually really loves it. He particularly loves the engineering, and something which I thought was really cool is Ekstrom and Liam, they both, last year when he was running an Ekstrom's car, like they're proper engineering geeks, both of them. So characters, completely different, definitely. Lovely blokes, both of them, but completely different. And yet there they are, probably going, oh yes, you know, about roll bars and everything. It's not even set up for these guys. It's engineering. We're talking about millimeters, roll centers, you know, center of gravities. What are you going to do on the car with this material, that material? Something they tried with a water pump on this. They love it. You know, Liam's still developing the DS3s back in the UK, isn't he? Which they're running in British Rallycross.
Yeah, I remember when I run with Liam's team back in British RX, constantly in the workshop, working until 6 o'clock, just to try and get a little bit more out of those cars. He does love it.
Liam's a busy guy as well. He's got a job with an engineering firm. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys think all these guys are just flying around the world, you know, being pro drivers, but most of them are working in the background. Yeah, Backward, you will have seen on Backward Live, was digging holes over the winter to raise budget, working with one of his sponsors. They've worked incredibly hard to get this team together. Doran being pushed back. Is that because he's got a problem, or have they pushed him off the grid? No, he comes back to the start. Good. Liam into reverse and then into first again. So, come on, let's hope that he's going to get it there. The marshal's always desperate to get them right in position. That's okay, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Round 2, Q2, race 1. Rennie Munich on pole from Yanni Parsonen, Rokas Baciuska and Liam Doran. Liam 17th, Baciuska 16th, 15th for Parsonen, 14th for Munich. Couple of new boots for Munich and Parsonen. All these guys have been allowed a full tyre allocation for each day. So they've got 8 tyres for each day. Normally the first round they have 12. But not here because, I say it's a double-header and they're only doing 3 qualifiers. Good start, Doran on the outside. Bit of tyre smoke from the rear tyres on the inside. Munich alongside Parsonen. Parsonen sideways off the line. Oh, Munich has to give up the place. Baciuska going to get whole shot. Liam slots right. Yes, good move. Doran chucks it in, and that's what we mean about car control. To the inside, just about misses the mark and just about misses the barrier. Great joker.
Look at the gap he pulled on Munich on the run out. He really nailed that joker lap. You can see just how important getting the rotation mid-corner is. Because he pulled a couple of car lengths on Munich just on the run out.
Gap saying 2.7 at the minute, Dan. I mean, that, you know, in some ways uncorrupted could send Baciuska now if they feel Doran's quicker. Let's watch it. It's at 2.8. So Baciuska's actually edged him a little bit on this first lap. Doran's super tidy in the background. The car doesn't look that comfortable to me at the moment.
No, he's slowed down.
He's done it again. No! More problems for Liam Doran. What has he got to do to get a break?
Sounds like he's got a box of neutrals.
That's really disappointing for Liam, but there you go, that's the way it goes. Parsonen over the crest, Baciuska into the joker, so Baciuska did joker, I said maybe, to protect from Liam at the time they made the decision. Tricky to know, Dan, is it? There he goes, back to the paddock, and unfortunately, with only 3 qualifying sessions and 2 DNFs, Liam's not going to make the semis. It's done already.
No, that's Liam out again already today. That's really not a good start for the season for Liam. Hopefully they can work on the car through the week, although they're not going to have much time because they're going
it's
straight
5
to
days.
Finland.
Yeah, if it's
Got
not,
to
on,
travel
if
there
it's
as
not
well.
on the truck, and as well, don't forget, it's a fair old drive down. It's going to be at least a day. There's a ferry involved. I think they'll be lucky if they've got, I don't know, maybe a day at either end. I'm talking about travel and restrictions and things. A few of us have commented on Facebook that there's no comms box camera. Yes, there is no comms box camera, but no, it isn't, because we're not socially distancing. So everybody at this event has had a COVID-19 test. We all have a work zone and a bubble in which we are able to operate. So obviously Dan Rook is in my bubble because he's the co-commentator. He travelled with me in my hire car. We're staying together at a ski lodge. There's no snow where we are. There is an injured bear in the area. We walked in the dark last night and we're quite scared. Wusses. We didn't fancy a fight with a bear. Yeah, but, you know, just to give you an idea, that's what I was talking about in the previous session about the lengths which we're going to. We are all being COVID tested tonight to make sure that we're COVID-free when we leave here, and we'll have to have a pass before we go to Finland. So this is serious stuff, guys. Thought we'd give you an explanation. Parsons out the Joker, slots himself in at the back of the pack. It's Baciuska who leads. Lap times are in the 44.8 for Baciuska last time, 44.5 for Rennie Munich, and a 44.8 for Parsons. Try and see what the lap times were like in the first ones. Yeah, we were seeing 44.0 and 44.1 for Kristoffersson and Ekstrom, but we've seen the Euro guys, Dan, since then go really quickly, and I personally think we're going to see the lap times drop into the 43s in this session.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they were 43.6, the quickest lap time we've seen so far today.
3:05.1 would have seen Baciuska in P5 in Q1, and to give you an idea, Baciuska was P16 in Q1, so that might be the difference, but it might be that he had a better run this time round. Can't remember. Yeah, he must have done, because he was in the first race. So DNF for Liam. Great shame for him. Parsons third, Munich second, Baciuska first. So off the line, Liam's start seems okay. Well, it's a little bit of smoke from the rear tyres, but nothing, you know, sometimes if something breaks on the start, you can clearly see that something, you know, what it is.
Yeah, I mean, from that first corner and his entry into the Joker lap, you can see that he's committed, the car's working well under him. It always seems to be once he's got halfway around the lap. I don't know if it was maybe when he comes up over this jump, you can see him there now. That's at the hairpin.
Same as last time, just terminal understeer. Well, terminal and as in the car's terminal as well.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even look like he was able to turn the wheel, really.
Parsons giving it a good send in there. I must admit, Derek Dauncey gave us a bit of a tip about the starts for Parsons. Didn't see it this time round. I'll go and quiz him later from a distance. Cars are getting ready for the next encounter. Sabo, Schischrit, Markland and Hansen. Timmy Hansen in this next race needs a good result. Neil's got Rokas Baciuska. Let's go down here from Rokas.
Rokas, good to get a race win there. How was the time, do you think, and the track, how's it different from Q1?
Yeah, the track is really good, because before, when we was in the last race, was in the gravel banking and was really difficult to control on the gravel car. But seems something we changed it was better, but also I have a space to push, and it's, I think I do already good job. I don't know what's the time, but you know, it's Q1 and the guys are also pushing a lot, and I hope I can be in the middle somewhere. And yeah, I would like to say Lithuanian, labai ačiū Jums iš tikrųjų. Nėra to greičio, bet stengiuosi parodyti viską, ką galiu. Ačiū.
There we go, thank you, Rokas.
Well, I hope that was positive, what Rokas said. Timmy Hansen getting a little push back there off his jump start sensor. He needs something positive here, definitely. Race 2, Q2. Christian Sabo for set on the inside. Then Gulan Schischrit, Anton Markland's been so fast, but 12th after Q1 with that puncture. Timmy Hansen, got to get a good start. Everybody's gone for new boots. Sabo just with a pair. Everybody else with 4 tyres. I'd say they can be a bit more free with the tyre use because of the fact they've got 8 tyres but only 3 qualifiers. Yeah, Hansen with a good reaction time on the outside, but Sabo's hooked it up. Hansen's gone backwards, going to have to slot in from there. Surely can't get round the outside, just gets pushed completely wide. Now he tries to go after the Joker, but if he goes now, he'll go with Markland, and he does. So Markland with another early Joker. Starts not quite going his way, but committing to it early, and Timmy's gone with him.
Yeah, I think good move there for Timmy, really. Otherwise, he's going to be on the back of Shisha. I think it's the lesser of two evils.
Yes, you've got to pick someone who thinks on your pace. No disrespect to Shisha. Timmy's the world champion, and Markland's on fire this weekend. I wonder though if Timmy should have given up that start earlier down a split-second lift and cut into the apex in turn one. Could he have got to the Joker before the others? I don't know. Oh, Sabo sideways over the crest.
Yeah, I mean, when we saw Timmy come out of the first corner, he had to really anchor the car up so he didn't end up in the gravel trap. So maybe he could have backed out a little bit earlier. Who knows? It's hard to tell when you're in the car. You've got limited visibility.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the outside pictures, it's easy for us to criticise.
It's always easier for us to look at it and say you should have done that. You know, and if you're the spotter, your thought process. Look, you guys I know at home would be like, oh, you know, Coley's missed that, Dan's missed this. Of course, there's a million things going on. We've got people talking in our ears. We've got timing screens. We got things, marks that we have to hit. In just the same way, when you're a spotter, you're sitting on your sofa at home. We're sitting in commentary going, well, you should have done that, really, shouldn't they? They're trying desperately to look at the different things that drivers on the radio going, it's understeering. You've got an engineer going, what are we going to do about the tyres for the next one? It's raining. There's so much going on. Same for the drivers, Dan, isn't it? They've got people in their ears.
Yeah, so they're trying to concentrate and nail all of their braking points whilst having the spotter talking away in their ears. Of course, each driver does have some preferences. Some drivers like to be talked to a lot.
Shisha and goes Joker. That releases Markland and Timmy Hansen. Kevin Hansen used to like to be talked to a lot. They push all the while, but I've noticed Graham Rodemark doesn't do that anymore. And I guess that's where Kevin has matured a bit as a driver and doesn't need telling all the while.
Yeah, and then there's different styles as well. You can be told to push, or you can just be sort of coached around the lap. So when I was driving, I preferred to have, I like constant talking, but it's more just awareness. Or if there's somebody on the same race as me that my spotter can see he's doing something different on a corner, and he can see how much quicker it is.
So maybe stay tight, turn 3, it's dirty on the outside, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Or such and such isn't braking here. Or
Sabo goes Joker on the inside, Markland and Hansen. I think Markland's going to get him, not so sure about Timmy. Sabo's going to slot in. Anton has done it again with a first lap Joker. Anton Markland is really on it this year. The car looks great for GCK Bill Stein. He looks like he's absolutely on it as well. I wouldn't mind betting he might get a win this year. Like after last year, particularly, I think Norway, even though they took it away, you've got to have some confidence, haven't you, when you win in those atrocious conditions. And Markland on the last lap here, chasing the target time of, I don't know who, because the timing screen's on the wrong page. Going to come round the long left-hander. And he sets a 3:02.6. So that would have been enough to be P2 in Q1.
lap times have dipped into the 43s now for these guys. Timmy Hansen there with a 43.7.
43.9 look for Sabo and a 43.8 for Markland. So Timmy with the ultimate pace. Until Markland takes it from Sabo, Hansen, Shisha. It's a Hansen with the fastest lap of the day, 43.7. But hasn't translated it to being right at the top. But he's in the mix there. Markland, Sabo, Hansen at the top. But we've got 9 fast cars still to come. Right, let's take a look at Timmy on the outside. So we've seen Kristoffersson pull off an outside move, but Dan, you've got to hook it up. And at this point, he knows, doesn't he? Because Markland is there, and that's the problem. He has to go deep if he doesn't want to face what Timmer had yesterday, which is broken steering from contact in the first corner. So Timmy's given them room, followed Markland in. Actually worked out pretty well from, to be 4th at the start. Okay, he's 3rd at the end, but with a decent time. Yeah,
he's playing the safe game. Like we were saying about Doran, they've not got much time to work on the cars in between events. He doesn't want to go and stuff it. There's so many points up for grabs in these next couple of weeks that you've just got to be sensible with.
You've got to get points everywhere. You can't give up a race. You definitely can't give up a whole weekend due to a bent chassis or roll cage or something. So yeah, playing a long game.
Anton, early Joker again, and the track seems to be getting quicker. How was it?
Yeah. So we didn't make the best out of the starts, and being first in Joker was absolutely perfect. But I made a mistake in Q1 and had a puncture, and then we were driving with a bit slower guys, and unfortunately I catched up, and yeah, lost quite a bit of time there on lap 2. But okay, we won the race. It was a solid time, so I just hope that it can bring us a bit further up the ranks and we can build from that on Q3, because the Megane again this day is really fast.
Well done, thank you.
Bit of information for you on that transit between the two events from Tim Whittington. Tim, one of our long-termers, and me and Tim are only a couple of our staff have been to every single round of the World Rallycross Championship. Tim is a Rallycross legend, and he's updated me on the travel. I'll give you that information in a minute between here and Finland. We were talking about that a few moments ago. Race 3 on the line. Scheider on pole, then Niklas Gronholm, Timmers Jarnov and Sebastian Eriksson. Only a couple of new tyres for each of these guys, and you can see they're not feeling quite so desperate as the people who are on the cusp. So you risk those tyres, or you save those tyres for later. GRX Tanako putting a pair of new tyres each on the same side of the car. Timmer versus Gronholm. They'll be sensible together in turn 1, I'm sure. Eriksson with a good start on the outside. Scheider's beating Gronholm off the line. Gronholm gets the squeeze. Timmer going to get the whole shot though. 3 cars wide. Eriksson's on the outside. Nowhere to go from there. Is Gronholm going to go Joker? He's not, but Scheider does. So Scheider, anyone at the back would have lost more time there. Timo's probably the only guy who could have benefited from jokering now. Gronholm up behind Timmer. He's going to want Timmer to get the hammer down. He wants to see the Timmer that was at Spa last year.
Yeah, that's what he needs right now, but he's run wide already.
That could be handy for Gronholm.
Yeah, but not quite able to find the gap through. Timmers Jarnov just carrying extra momentum. But then he's not hassling him, is he? But, well, we'll see as he comes up around here. He seems to be closing the gap again down the hill.
It's interesting just to see the difference in the attitude of the 2 cars down the hill. One completely square, one a little bit more sideways. Equal through here. Up at the velodrome, the style was different. Each of these little things down, whether it's driver style or just a tiny mistake, can be the difference between pace or not. Gronholm goes Joker. So set GRX and Paul Gronholm off to the side. GRX Tanako. Jussi Pinamaki, I'm sure, will be on the spotters radio. Super tight between them. Gronholm runs all the way up the curve on the inside, and he's coming out behind Scheider, so that hasn't worked out.
Yeah, that's a familiar view for him from Q1, and that's not what he wanted at all. I think maybe he could have hung it out with Tim Jarnov just one more lap and see if they could find the gap.
Now, of course, Niklas could have made that decision for himself.
Yeah, you don't always have to rely on the spotter to make your calls. You can feel like you're really being held up, but it's a gamble if you go on your own, because you don't know what's happening behind you.
Defensive line again from Scheider on the way into the hairpin. It's you know, you could maybe take a couple more feet on the way in to get another couple of tenths, but Eriksson staying out. Eriksson is where is Eriksson? Yeah, he's only 2 ahead of Scheider, so I think Eriksson's in danger from both of these guys, while Timmer at the moment would be in the clear, wouldn't he, when you think, and it's gone up, the gap's gone up to 4, so Gronholm's lost half a second. In fact, Gronholm's lost 0.8 of a second to Timmers Jarnov behind Scheider.
These 2 guys are squabbling though, aren't they?
They're
costing themselves time.
But then, you know, Gronholm looks to the inside, look, he's big in the mirrors, he's all over the back of Timo. There's that sideways again. Timo again takes a defensive line. Gronholm comes to try around the outside. Timmers Jarnov going to go Joker this time. He's in turn 1 now. About to split off to the right-hand side. Here he goes, straight on for the Hyundai, straight on for the Honda behind. Timmer is in the 44s, but he hasn't been into the 43s. 44.0 he's done, does come out clearly in front. Eriksson drops to the back. So you see Timmers Jarnov, actually, look at, you see Scheider actually has not lost much time to Timmer. The question is over whether Gronholm could have gone quicker.
Yeah, it's in hindsight now, you can see that maybe he should have stayed with Timmers Jarnov instead of going on lap 2.
Might have only been a couple of tenths looking at it, wouldn't he? Really, what he really needed was to be in front of Timmer, wasn't it? Timmer is, as we've seen from Spa, watch the Spa final if you're in any doubt as to how good Timmer, double European Supercar champion, is. Timmers Jarnov takes it. 3:03.7, good enough for third, 1.1 seconds off the pace of Markland. Yeah, so if you're in any doubts how good he is that good, but at the moment, Gronholm just has a little bit of an edge over him. Certainly last year. 3 wins for the team last year, though. 2 for Gronholm, 1 for Timmer. Favourite win of the year, Spa. Timmers Jarnov takes it, 3:03.7, Scheider, Gronholm, Eriksson. There's where they go into the overalls. Timmy Hansen in 4th, so the lowest Timmy would be now is 9th if everybody beats him, but I'm not sure that'll happen. So Timmy should make it up into the semis from this session. Tiny bit of contact between Gronholm and Scheider. Niklas's settings, obviously, well, it could be the grid slot down. Him and Timmer could have been running the exact same settings.
Yeah, exactly. But just not quite getting the launch away. But Timojanov just pulled a car length before he got to the first corner, didn't he? He was able to tuck across. There's Gronholm into the Joker, and here's the merge. Yeah, Scheider carrying so much speed, easily slotted in front of him then.
Hooking that big curve on the inside. Gronholm did try to find a way through. The other thing, Dan, is of course you get your intercooler full of dirt, which can then affect how much power you've got. You don't really want to run in traffic if you can help it. Timo with little inputs. Good job by him.
Timmer, a good race win, and it looked like a clean race.
Yeah, we have first time the good start from the line. I was have clear run. Nicholas was behind me, but I think I do some mistakes on the track, which just cost me over lap time. And yeah, but I'm happy that I finished first on the front of the group of the guys who was minimum Scheider and Nicholas in front of me before. And now I need to see how Q3 will go out, and we still need to work on setup.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
So Timmer thinks there needs to be a little bit of work on setup. Quick update for you on that travel. We were talking about all the COVID measures and everything, so I'll say everybody gets tested for COVID here again before they go to Finland. They're allowed into Finland because we are working in Finland. There's restrictions on entering the country at the minute. They will service all day here at Monday. Tuesday they drive to Stockholm. It's a night boat to Finland for the whole paddock. And then they arrive in Kuvula paddock Wednesday mid-morning. Some of us are travelling back to the UK, and then we'll fly out to Finland again with a COVID test. So I'd say it's a lot of work, guys. I really hope you're enjoying it, but please recognise the amount of work that's having to happen in the background to make this happen. Final race of Q2. The big guns in this one. Johan Kristoffersson, 17-18 world champion, winner yesterday of round one on the pole. Ekstrom, so close in terms of pace, the 2016 champion in P2. Larsen, backer of the runner-up last year. Kevin, P3 last year. New tyres for Kristoffersson in slot number 1. Is that going to give him the start that he craves? Can Ekstrom get him? Listen to the Polo, it's so early on the launch system. Even start the inside. Ekstrom's level with Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson maybe a wheel's breadth in front. Larsen round the outside, gets pushed wide. Ekstrom surely going to go Joker early. He does, into the inside, the outside on the limiter. Larsen is in behind Kristoffersson. Kevin Hansen has gone in with Ekstrom. Ekstrom with an absolutely brilliant Joker, gaps him by a few car lengths. So now Kristoffersson's got Larsen behind, and Larsen was super quick last time out, Dan, as well.
Yeah, Larsen was really quick, and he's keeping Kristoffersson honest at this point, and Matthias with that early Joker now, he's going to be trying to pip them off.
Kristoffersson's now got the problem of Larsen behind him, and I don't think Larsen will try and pass because of trying to get the best times they can. But Kristoffersson can't necessarily Joker early to cover off Ekstrom behind. He's only 2.8 back, because then he lets Larsen go.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, it's a massive advantage for KYB Team JC to have two cars in the same race, isn't it? Because now you've got double power going towards Kristoffersson.
Into the Joker lap's gone backwards. So Andreas backward trying to cover off Kevin Hansen, but he can't. So backward drops to the back of these guys. Just needs another decent time there to get up into the semis. Kristoffersson's got Larsen right with him. What are the lap times are? We're going to wait for them to come around the end of lap 2. Difference in line up through there. Watch them down the hill. Watch for this bump. Kristoffersson and Larsen both with a handful of opposite lock over the curbs to the inside. Dirt flying up in the background. What's the gap back to Ekstrom? It's 2.5. Ekstrom's taken 3/10 off them. Ekstrom's taken 3/10 off Kristoffersson. Is Kristoffersson going to go Joker now?
He has to go Joker, surely. Surely he's got to go Joker.
He doesn't. He's going to go standard lap. Fastest lap of the day. Larsen 43.5 in behind Kristoffersson. The gap to Ekstrom 2.5. Is he going to bring it down anymore? They'll be on the radio to him telling him it's going to be super, super close between you. I'm loving this fight between our previous world champions. We didn't know if either of them would ever be back, and they're both back this year. Ekstrom 2 weeks ago. We knew about Kristoffersson a while back. What's that gap? Come on, I'm only looking at the timing. Come on, what's the gap? I want to see. How tight is it? 2.3. Ekstrom's done it by 2/10.
Oh, yeah, but he's still got a couple of corners yet to go. I think they're going to be side by side on the way out. They've also got to be careful with Robin because they're going to be going into the Joker at the same time.
Christopherson and Larson to Joker now on the last lap. Ekstrom's been hunting them down. The 16 champion will be inch perfect. Fastest lap of the day, Ekstrom. He's on for this, going to take the jump on the inside. Good Joker by Larson and Christopherson. Ekstrom's up the inside and he gets him. Matthias Ekstrom gets Johan Christopherson. I told you we'd have a fight this year. It was super close yesterday in the dry, and today Ekstrom has proved he's got the pace, Dan.
That's exactly what he needed to do, and that early Joker lap has seriously paid off.
I'm loving it. Yes, we're back. World Rallycross is back. Get some. Ekstrom around the right-hander and up towards the jump. He's 4/10 in front of Christopherson. Larson's dropped back behind Kevin Hansen. But an absolutely epic race between two of our brilliant world champions. Ekstrom does a 3:00.051. That is the fastest time of the weekend to beat Christopherson, yesterday's winner. Fastest lap of the day, 43.3. He had to get that done. He did fastest laps 3 times, I think, out of 4. That is epic from Matthias Ekstrom. Ekstrom gets Christopherson by the tiniest of margins, half a second the other way than it was in the previous one. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Kevin Hansen super quick with a 3:01.3. Well done, Kevin, right up there. Larson and Andreas Backer with the 3:03. Everybody, Markland is the only one to be as quick as these 5 look. So Markland stays in 4th place. Fantastic. Look at the spread of cars at the top here. Audi, Volkswagen, Peugeot, Renault. Backwards up there as well. Amazing.
Matthias, I can see you got a smile on your face. That looked like pretty much the perfect race.
Yeah, I had a decent start and took the Joker straight away and just tried to squeeze the very max what I have, and I could see I was slightly faster, so it was a decent run, but in the end it's very enjoyable to be here.
Thanks, Matthias, well done.
That's not a smile, that's a massive grin. That's the grin you have when you left this series longer ago than Christopherson, when Christopherson is undisputedly the most successful driver in this championship with 21 wins as of yesterday, 2 world titles. But Ekstrom is a world champion. He won the world championship here in 2016. It was his greatest achievement in motorsport, winning this series. And that grin, Dan, tells me that he loves rallycross.
Yeah, that was a massive smug face, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. I'm loving it. I am loving it. Absolutely. What happened to Larson? So where's Kevin? Did Larson just get done at the merge? Did he clip the barrier?
Oh,
yeah, he tapped the barrier. Barrier tap, but that's where Larson's away. You see, if he'd gone full throttle into the barrier, he would have spun him round the other way. So he's given up the position to not lose a ton of time. Great decision. Ekstrom, though, absolutely fantastic. What an epic qualifying session here at Hollius, round 2 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Matthias Ekstrom into the TQ spot. It's a win and a second apiece for him and Johan Christopherson. Ekstrom gets it because he was quickest in the last session. Kevin Hansen, P3, Larson 4th. Baccarat and Markland, Timosyanov, Scheider, who's in at the bottom half of the table. Sabo, Gronholm in. Timmy Hansen only just in. Sebastian Eriksson, last year's winner, desperate to make it through to the final again. Oh, man. Wow. So what do you think about that, social media? Let us know. #WorldRX. You know, there's a few World Championships out there doing their best to get it done during COVID. WRC is going to be back soon. Fantastic. F1 doing an amazing job too. Just brilliant. WEC's been back. I'm sure you guys have had some dark times this year where you wondered whether or not things would get back to normal. I know we're not back to normal. I hope this is bringing a smile to your faces. I'm pretty emotional to be here, to be honest. I didn't think I'd be here doing this job that I love and that I know I'm so lucky to have. And I'm stoked that we're here and that we're doing this and that it's so close. It's so close. It just makes it all the work. It makes it worthwhile. Send us your thoughts, guys. Who do you think is going to win? What did you think of that drive from Ekstrom? You still think Christopherson's got an advantage? I'm with you. If it rains, If it rains, Ekstrom said to me yesterday they need half an hour to put the settings on the car that they would need to match Christopherson. He thinks they might be able to match him in the wet, but not when you've got 2 minutes to do it. But at the minute, in the dry, that Audi has got the pace of the Volkswagen. I'm loving it. Euro RX on to their final qualifying session of the weekend. One round for them here in Sweden. Karai, Oberg, Eklund and Nordgaard. I think I might be as stoked as Ekstrom is. Oh, wow. Come on then. I was ready to race on. You did go out there, but no, okay, back on. Per Eklund with a great start on the outside, but on the inside, Karai has edged it. Per going to go round the outside of Oberg. Get in. Oberg to the Joker. Yeah, a bit hesitant though, Dan.
Yeah, and well, they'd lost a car off the line as well, so he had plenty of space to go in there. I think maybe he could have carried a little bit more commitment.
It's not Nordgaard's weekend, is it? Nordgaard's pulled straight off. So what Nordgaard's potentially done there is they may know that car isn't right, but you take the start, and therefore, if you knock the start sensor over, if you don't knock the start sensor over, it's a DNS, sorry, isn't it? So if you go to the grid but die on the line and can't knock the sensor over, it's still a DNS, even though you showed up, I think. Yeah. But if you knock the start sensor over like Nordgaard has, so he's pulled straight off the track, so he knows exactly what he's up to. Per Eklund in the Beetle, trying to chase down Karai. He's my dad's age. I just get my dad driving a supercar. Well, I don't quite where I'm going to find the money for that, but I quite like the idea. I think
I'm
he'd
sure
enjoy
we
it.
can pull some strings.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you're watching at home. Hello, Dad. And Mum.
Hello, Coley's dad and mum.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, your mum and dad. They're always watching as well, aren't they, Dad?
Oh, my mum's on it.
Four of our regular viewers. We regularly get text messages from Wendy. Per Eklund helped build this track, so there you go. We should give Per a massive trophy just for building an epic rallycross circuit. I think he was at the first race here. 1976, I'm being told. My producer is an expert in rallycross. There must be somebody in the truck with him.
Yeah.
Socially distant, of course. Again, they're all in bubbles in the truck. Everybody wearing masks. It's a complicated situation. There were long documents to read. They're pretty long documents to read on a normal TV job. It was extra long this time. It's been an interesting one for us. There's been a lot for us to learn this weekend. Oh, here we go. I've just been told by the producer he was wearing a blue race suit. Now I know he's fully milking it. He's an expert on Tottenham, up the Spurs, the producer. He'll love that. But
maybe he was here for it.
Richie, you think he might have been here for... Yeah, he's looking... I mean, I don't know, though, that haircut that Richie's carrying... It's a bit of he's got a Costner on the go, hasn't he, at the minute? Yeah. Kevin Costner at the controls. All these are private jokes, terribly sorry. I'll put a picture of him online at some point. Karai into the Joker. He's well in front. Can he do a better time this time round? Karai last time, where is he? He's in P12 with a 10th, a 9th and a 13th. He was only 3:16.4 last time. Track conditions are different this time. But struggling this weekend.
I wouldn't have said the track's far off now compared to what it was from their Q3.
It's certainly not changing like yesterday. Yesterday it was ninth day, wasn't it, sometimes between two races. Karai runs the car deep to set a quick time. You saw Ekstrom do that as well. Basically, you're unloading everything in terms of the transmission, just pointing it at the finish line as soon as you can to get a quick time. And actually, the wide line there can work earlier, because you can open the steering up and open the throttle and run the car off down to the right.
Yeah, because you don't need to set the car up for turn one. So you can compromise that and go full throttle, and basically they're aiming for the end of the Armco.
Yeah, aiming for the branding. Well, there is Armco behind the Monster Energy branding, but yeah, aim for that. You say, and we've seen that at different places where you take a Joker when you wouldn't normally because you want to get a better time up the straight towards the finish line. There's all sorts of tactics, and that's why we have Dan Rook in the commentary box, because he knows this stuff. Karai 3:08.6, Oberg, Eklund, Nordgaard, Karai before. That's Karai's fastest time of the weekend, but he went 8 seconds quicker down than he went in Q3, so that's a better time for Karai. are much better times. 2 seconds a lap. Now, I don't think there's 2 seconds a lap in this group for any one driver. So I don't know, have they fixed something there? I don't mean I've broken something, you know what I mean, a setting something.
You don't know what they went out with this morning. They might have been experimenting something and it might not have worked, come back in and had a serious rethink on what they want to do.
Would that be a strongly worded text message to the engineer?
Yeah, strongly worded WhatsApp.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those this weekend to say nobody's allowed to talk to anyone. Well done, Karai. Will it be enough to hold on to a position in the semis? Race 2 loaded. Let's take a look. Matt Oman, Tobias Darbach, Mandy August and Ale Fucik. Off go the marshals. What are we seeing, Dan?
Track marker warning for Andreas and Ekstrom.
Andreas backward. Yeah. And Matthias Ekstrom. Oh. Darbach looks to have edged this one around the outside of Oman. Is Oman going to go joker early? No, Oman's going to go standard lap. Oh no, he got muscled out. Oman wanted to go standard lap there. Quick decision making has gone the other way. Probably got the pace, I think, of August and Fucik, so I think Oman could get back past them. Oman potentially has got the pace of Darbach at the front, but the problem is if he catches up to August and Fucik too early.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can see him catch right up with them, to be honest. He's just looking back now at his previous times. Where is he? So he's had a 7th, a 5th, and a 9th. So yeah, he can beat these guys, I'm sure of it. He's already on the back.
Yeah, he's there, but that's going to cost him, isn't it? Unless, I mean, there's a chance here that I think Fucik will go joker just to see if he can edge Mandy in front. That's if Mandy doesn't go. And he doesn't, fair enough, but that's going to cost Oman.
Yeah.
Assuming he continues to close the gap, but I mean, he should. Right, let's talk penalties, Dan. So there is, as Dan said, a warning from Supercar. In fact, so there was a warning and a penalty for Sebastian Eriksson, got a 5-second penalty, so that's a shame for Sebastian. Probably that might well cost him a position. We might have had our results before that came in. So Sebastian Eriksson dropped to 16th in that session. I don't know, we'll double check that for you ahead of the next one. But then we've had warnings, so a warning and a 5-second to Sebastian means he's hit it twice in a row, Dan. What's worrying for the Supercar guys really is the fact that both Ekstrom and Backward have had a warning. So Ekstrom now cannot take a risk on a marker because you'll get an instant 5-second penalty. And unfortunately that applies to each round and the semis and the final. I don't know what I think about that. Well, no, we've spoken about this before. I don't like it. I would prefer a 2-second penalty. I'd prefer a 1-second penalty every time they hit it, or a 2-second one, but 5 kills you, so it accumulates. So if you hit it 3 times in a race, it's 3 times a penalty. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe a warning and then that, 2 seconds a time.
Yeah, because they're not gaining 5 seconds.
No.
By touching. Literally, it's the bumper of the car that's
the other
raising
thing is,
them
mate, you could judge it. It's the last. We've seen some stuff before where someone's been pushed into it. You can't give someone a penalty for that. No. This, I say, we're the commentators. We're not the stewards. The FIA make the rules, not us. Not even the stewards. The FIA make the rules. So. But this is an open discussion. I know you guys will be chatting about it at home. Yeah, if you plough straight through a marker right between your headlights, sorry, you deserve a 5-second penalty. But if you've just nudged it or brushed it with the front corner of your bumper, is that a warning? No, it's not for me. It's one of those things where you need what in the UK we call a judge of fact. So somebody stood at, say, a chicane on a rally that's made out of hay bales. Did he try to get through it? No, he ploughed through it. OK, give him a penalty. There's a big difference. Yeah, anyway, there we go. Darbach going to take this. Only 18 years old, I've just been told by our Danish EBS operator Julius. Thank you, Julius. I thought he looked young in the picture. I have to say, in the grid, I did think 18 years old from Denmark. Brilliant for him to get a qualifying race win. Let us know if you're watching in Denmark. Whoop whoop. 7 Danish championships in a row in various classes. That would have made him extraordinarily young. Okay, good stuff. So we just had a message. The penalties do not carry through to the semis. Thank you, Tim. There we go. Good. Don't That's a change from last year or not, but that's good. So that means Ekstrom's got to be a bit careful in the next qualifier. But you can't be careful when you're up against Kristoffersson. You've got to be perfect. Darback then, 7 championships in a row, Dan. How old was he, 18?
18.
He's been winning stuff since he was 11, unless the Danes are sneaky and having a couple of championships a year. So I'm guessing we're talking, support categories. Either could have come up via karting, could have come up via cross car.
Yeah, there's so many options to come up through the ranks, isn't there? But yeah, good going if he's carrying on that string of stuff. And for when young drivers come up, they're coming into a new championship, and if they're able to win it straight out without experience, it's a fantastic job.
Yeah, great drive. Thanks, mate, you're a legend. Okay. Teammates side by side. We've had a text message from Dan's mum, just updating you.
She says she's blushing.
Brilliant. Race 3, Q4 for Euro RX, round 1 from Hollius in Sweden. Ben Philip Gunderson, runner-up last year in RX2, has been amazing in a supercar this year, really impressed me. Pontus Tiedemann, WRC driver, who was one of the debut drivers for EKS RX. Peter Hedstrom running the car alongside him on the grid. What's going to happen in turn 1? And Andrea de Borg. Andrea currently in P9 after a DNF in Q2. Gunderson looks slightly late off the line there and is a half car length back on Tiedemann, but forces his way through. I'm not having any of that, and comes right from being half a car length back, just was brave, Dan, and kept it lit into turn 1.
Yeah, that's commitment for you, isn't it? But that's having confidence because he knows that the cars are on the outside of him, so he can carry a little bit of extra speed into turn 1 and just lean on them. He knows he's not going to go firing straight off.
I must admit, I didn't quite like that. Andrea de Borg, you know what I mean, don't you? That's... Oh, I don't know, that's what RX2 teaches you, I guess.
Yeah, because, RX2 cars, the start is normally even more even because the cars are a spec car. So, everyone who starts level, you have to learn how to muscle your way through.
He could do with Andrea de Borg not hustling him. Obviously, Andrea's going to. I reckon de Borg, I want to say might go joker, but Tiedemann's joking already. And he's only 3.4 off the back. He does go. He might just get out in front here of Tiedemann at the back. So this is de Borg versus Tiedemann, but Tiedemann's going to get in. It's not a perfect joker. And Dan, I think that's why you can see people are taking chances on that marker on the right-hand side, because it's the tenths that you need. As you say, it's not 5 seconds, which is the penalty, but it is the tenths you need if you want to get out in front of Kristoffersson.
Yeah, and I think there Andrea's problem, he couldn't get the rotation mid-corner. So you see he ran a little bit deep on the first part of the joker lap, and then he couldn't switch the car back around to get it out of the corner.
Gunderson leads by 2.1 from Hedstrom, 2.2 now, so he's getting away from them. The gap's going up to Tiedemann as well. He goes joker early. So Gunderson's gone joker early. Is that going to bring him out behind Hedstrom? This is to cover off Tiedemann. And I think that's a mistake, Dan, got to be honest. Tiedemann, I know, was close, but the gap had just gone up by a tenth. Now he's in behind someone who he had a 2.3 gap on.
Yeah, and Tiedemann would have been catching Hedstrom up as well.
And now Hedstrom's gone all defensive, which is pointless, because when he jokers, he's got a problem. Either Hedstrom, or he didn't brake test him.
He's brake testing him.
No, it's out of order. He won't like that. And look at what's happened to de Borg as a result. De Borg nearly gets run off the side of the track. I reckon Gunderson's going to be livid about that. Go on, give him a nudge, tell him. Either that or Hedstrom's got a problem, but...
Watch him back up now on his run into the joker, I reckon.
It's pointless, though. It's just costing him and them time. Off goes Hedstrom. He's going to drop back to the back of the pack. Gunderson into the lead. But, OK, let's be honest, for me, Gunderson should have jokered on the last lap. The gap went up to Tiedemann. It was, OK, I know Tiedemann's a class driver and you want to cover him off, but not at the cost of coming back out behind Hedstrom, who I'm afraid isn't on the pace in this one.
Yeah, no, that was a bad move there on their part, 100%.
De Borg, look, again, was up behind Tiedemann. I reckon De Borg's got mega traction out of the velodrome. Maybe as they swap from tar to gravel, he gets in behind, has to pull out or lift, and can't quite make it work. Gunderson over the line. So Gundersen a 3:08.0 is enough to go to the top of the table, but I personally think he could have gone at least another second quicker than that, Dan. What do you reckon? Maybe more?
Yeah, another second at least, 100%.
Gundersen takes it from Tiedemann and De Bourg. Hedstrom at the back of the pack. Was it a problem? Did he brake check him? Not really allowed to go and see each other in the paddock and have a row because of COVID. So strongly worded text message. Gundersen at the top of Q4 standings for Euro. So look at Gundersen here. Tiedemann's got him by half a car length. Look, no, thank you. And he just runs him out deep. And that plays into this. For me there, De Bourg should have gone Joker immediately because, you know what I mean? He's the only person who could have slotted out and done it. Yeah, but, you know, maybe De Bourg thinks, I don't want to be behind whoever's slow in this.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. But then he obviously chose to go early in the race, went in there now. Then a mistake in the Joker as well.
Yeah, lost it. I think he should have gone first. He should have gone straight away.
He was the only one who cut up the inside, so he could have just carried so much pace.
Right, let's see if we see this, whether it's a brake check or... But as I say, don't forget, to be fair, so they go, look, from tarmac here. No, unless he's got a throttle cut issue, Dan. That was.
But his brake lights are flashing.
They did flash, I didn't see.
Yeah, brake lights are flashing all the time, unless he was thinking he was kicking the clutch, but I don't know.
What do you think happened at home?
Controversial.
Yes. Hashtag RX controversy. Hashtag brake check. Okay, final race for qualifying for European Supercar from Hollius. Oliver Eriksson on his prize drive for being the RX2 champion is on TQ after Q3. Brilliant in the European Championship. Brinderson into fourth, Sondre Evjen third, and JB De Bourg second. They're the quick guys. Should be good. I thought Evjen had a good start, but too much wheel spin dropped back. Ollie Eriksson's got it. Brinderson going to slide into second. I reckon Brinderson will go Joker straight away from the attitude of the car. He does, and Evjen goes with him. Evjen looks quicker on the way in, and Brinderson's run deep. That's not a perfect Joker. It's not terrible, though, Dan.
No, it's better than Andrea De Bourg in the last run, wasn't it? But that's good for Evjen to follow Brinderson. Brinderson actually set the same lap times as we saw Matthias Ekstrom setting in his Q2 race, so we know Brinderson's got pace, and I don't think the track would have developed that much between those two races then. So these Euro boys have got pace. They're really quick.
They are. They have.
Oh,
De Bourg, like coming down the hill, watching coming down the hill. Dan, you've driven this circuit. I'd love to. If I could do a lap anywhere, I'd probably be here. I've done plenty of laps on, but Eriksson, Joker early to cover Brinderson. So they know Brinderson's quick. The gap's 3.7. They know it's enough. De Bourg's gone as well, and Brinderson's got De Bourg. He shuts the door, and Evjen knows. So that is because of how quick Brinderson was. Last time out, Brinderson was P2, and he was only 2/10 off Eriksson last time.
And he did have the ultimate pace over a lap. Yeah. He had the fastest lap of the last session.
That's really good tactics from OMSE. Do you think it'd be Andreas on the radio? Jim Andreas was in the spotters area when I walked back earlier on.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it probably is Andreas. So it's either that or Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't seen Kevin this week, and I say we haven't got quite the access to the paddock that we normally have. Brinderson has lost another 10th on that lap. These guys will know now that probably the best tactic is just to get the hammer down and set the lap times. Brinderson, I think, would like to close up to Eriksson, wouldn't he, just to say, hey, I'm here. I'm trying to look at the gaps between them in terms of points. To be honest, they're fairly well spread out in the standings for quali. It's 139 Eriksson, 132 De Bourg, 125 Evjen, and 118 for Brinderson. So I'm not sure that the order is going to change. But it's a psychological thing, you know. If you close him down a bit, it's like, yeah, get ready, semi-finals and finals.
Yeah. They're not going to. He's probably not going to make a pass on track unless Ollie Eriksson makes a mistake. But
it's the Ekstrom thing, isn't it? You know, at the minute, a lot of people are wearing masks. Yeah, we have to wear masks at the minute. We know that. But you know, Ekstrom's got a full face helmet on. It's like a mask. You can still tell when someone's smiling behind it, and when there's a proper grin going on. And that's because it's that psychological advantage of I got you in dry conditions. I got you. And that for us is brilliant, and that's what's going on here. Yeah, all these guys, it's just a case of I want you to worry about me in the next race.
Yeah, 100%.
You want to be the guy, don't you, that's known for going for the move, even if it's a bit of a dodgy move, even if you're known as, oh, he's a bit naughty, but it's like, well, yeah, so you just know you're not safe. Yeah, Dan's grinning. He's been to the naughty step plenty of times. Ericsson takes it. It is a 3:02.5, and that is the session win for Ollie Ericsson. So on his prize drive for being the RX2 champion, Ollie Ericsson takes the top qualifier spot in the European Rallycross Championship here from Holliers, wins the race from Brinderson, Dubourg and Evgen, and it will be those drivers, I'm confident, well, at the top of the standings here, but they were at the top of the standings before for qualifying after Q3. They are going to be on your front row for the semi-finals later on today. Start again, look, Ericsson got it hooked up. The car does look good off the start. So remember, a very similar car to this, of course, won here at Hollies in the World Championship last year. Sebastian Ericsson, one of those wonderful standout wins for a driver who gets not enough seat time, probably not enough credit, to be fair, and gets in the car and goes, yeah, I'm just going to win a round of the World Championship, and then I'll be off back to working on the RX2 cars again.
Yeah, I know. He's one of the most underrated drivers, I think.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant bloke. He really is. You go and see him, he's always smiles. He's always, yeah, he's a really humble guy. Fantastic. Oliver Ericsson, this is the best performance I've seen from Ericsson this year in a supercar. He's been doing some stuff in Nordic, but that is the Oliver Ericsson we're used to seeing. Standings after Q4, the end of qualifying for round 1 of the European Rallycross Championship in 2020. Oliver Ericsson with 3 session wins gets the TQ from J.B. Dubourg. Sondre Evgen is in 3rd and Thomas Brinderson is in 4th. That's the order they were in after the previous session. Gunderson, Hedstrom, Mats Omen, Pontus, Tiedemann, your top 8. Who's in? Andrea de Borg, Karai, Darbach and August are all through to the semi-finals. Final round of qualifying now for Project E. They're making their debut here at Holliers. 3 cars. We're missing Mads Osberg, unfortunately. We're really looking forward to seeing the Citroën on the grid. Citroën basing their Project E car on the R5 chassis, which has been successful in international rallying. Rally 2 category now, of course. They've decided to change what numbers go where, which is nice and confusing when R2 and R5 and all the rest of it, now it's going around the other way. Rally 1, Rally 2. We'll get there in the end. One day Motorsport will just get all its ducks in a row and go, this is how we're going to do it. But they base it on the R5 car. Unfortunately, they're going to have to wait until the next round to make their debut. So we're hoping to see Mads Osberg and the Citroën in Latvia. Can't wait to see that. In the meantime, we've got 3 Ford Fiesta ERXs by Stard. You can buy one from Stard just like this. You can do what Citroën have done, develop your own car. You can get an old supercar or a new supercar if you want. And you can stick the electric kit into it. 2 motors on the rear axle, 1 on the front. There's nothing joining them up, obviously, between in the way of a prop shaft, which means that you can dial in the throttle response for the rear end of the car and the front of the car separately, which gives you the feel in the car. Marshall's going to leave the grid any moment now. Here it is. Ken Block on pole from Herman Neubauer and Natalie Barrett. That's the order in which they are in qualifying as well. And they will go straight to the final later on today between World RX semis and final. So yesterday we could hear the fans on these cars. Silent on the grid, ready to race comes up now. Full reaction time needed. Jump start. Natalie's jumped the start on the outside, so it's double joker for her. She missed the start yesterday, said she was basically caught napping. She wasn't happy about that. I like the livery on her car.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Ken's car looks awesome, I have to say. You can't beat a Ken Block livery. He's had some amazing designs over the year, but this one, which is on the Cosy Mark II, of course, as well. I went down to the timing tower earlier on today, looked at some of the technical kit they've got for doing reviews of the various different replays and things. Had to go and have a look, of course, before the staff were in there, because it's not my working area. I say there's all sorts of things you can and can't do. But yeah, big screens for the guys in race control to check the various different, they've got replay angles, so they can look, the stewards can look at cameras which are above the track. They're on basically on like a flagpole in several places around the track, and that gives them, it's not like an HD picture like you guys get at home, it's a grainier picture, but it gives them the angles which you need to see to be able to sometimes go, now do you know what, he definitely did push him, that kind of thing. First time we've seen the 2x Joker lap board this weekend.
That's a good point.
It is, yeah. So Natalie will have to do 2 Joker laps. Okay, ready to race light back on. It goes out, waiting for the green. Mega reaction time from Neubauer and from Ken Block. Actually, Barrett as well, closer than she did before off the start. Ken gets the whole shot. Neubauer, is he going to dive off to the Joker this time on that one? Doesn't. Natalie goes Joker straight away. Got 2 to do in this one, so you can understand why she wants to do that. You can hear how deep the gravel is down on that section, completely different, and how the cars go over. That does develop that section of gravel between the Joker merge and the right-hander, and then through the velodrome, trying to get the car straight before you light it up. More, I think 612 horsepower from these cars.
Yeah, it's crazy the power, isn't it? You actually saw them having to dip on the brake just before they dropped down the hill, because we do have a bump developing there. And
Neubauer looking.
Not quite able to make it work, but yeah, having to be a little bit more patient as you normally would be in a supercar, because they've just got so much more power. You can't, you know, it's about how the power itself is similar, isn't it? Neubauer goes Joker early. It's the torque, and it's the fact that, you know, so how can we describe this to people at home? If you've got a petrol car, the higher the revs, the faster the car feels. There's a power band.
Yeah, exactly. The diesel car, the power band comes in lower because turbo diesel mostly. These,
yeah, it's instant. It's straight from the off, these cars. So that's why they're having to be really careful with the throttle as well, because if you go flat out in a naturally aspirated car, you've still got a delay until the revs get to the right point to get your peak power, but you don't have that. It's straight away there.
Ken Block has got David Mansfield spotting for him this weekend.
World famous.
Yeah. Of course, David Mansfield also working for GCK Monster Energy RX Cartel. So he's got a lot of spotting to do this weekend. Been working with Ken for a long time, hasn't he? So it was good that he got the opportunity to do both. Natalie threw the Joker for the 2nd time. Nicely done. Ken is the only driver not to have gone. If you look at the top of your screen, you can see the red line above his name. Different graphics for Project E. Nice and sideways for Natalie. She was saying this morning, wasn't she? You can't beat go. She's been told by her engineers, you're too sideways, Natalie. It's not as fast. She's like, but I like going sideways, and that's why she's come back. So she used to, rallied a Hyundai WRC car for a long time. Enjoyed her rallying, and is back for Rallycross. She's on the social media channels if you want to catch up with Natalie. Ken into the Joker lap now. Gets the car quite straight on the way in. I think Neubauer might be close enough here. Neubauer over the jump towards the merge and comes out in front of Ken Block. So Herman Neubauer has done enough on the last couple of laps just to edge Ken. In fact, Ken was quicker by 2/10 on the previous lap. And then Neubauer by 4/10 on the one after, so he was close enough, wasn't he? Oh, and off to the side. Neubauer's got a problem. So Neubauer pulls off to the side of the track. That gives it back to Ken Block. Disappointing for the double Austrian rally champion. Ken Block over the jump in the Project E car here with Ford this weekend. Long-term big partner of his, along with Monster Energy, of course, crosses the line, and Ken Block will be the first ever top qualifier for Project E. Herman Neubauer gets the car going again, so we saw a problem for Natalie, didn't we, in the previous session, so Neubauer will finish. I wonder, no, it won't affect him enough, will it? Because Natalie's had a DNF. So with Natalie having a DNF, Neubauer will still be P2 in the standings. Losing a fair bit of time. Backs it into the hairpin and over the line. A lot about these cars is to do with temperature inside them. So you've got temperatures inside the battery pack and the motors. Ken Block a 314.002. Natalie Barrett a P2 and Herman Neubauer in 3rd. There's actually an extinguishment system within the battery, so it was all very carefully done by the FIA. It has to be crash tested just like a normal rallycross car. Then there are extra crash tests for the battery. Start have done so much work to make sure these cars are safe. The batteries in them are unbelievably powerful, made of materials which provide that power, but which give a different risk to, say, fuel, which would burn in a normal car. So, we've been looking at back tanks and things. That the safety on ICE cars, internal combustion engine cars, has changed over the years. They have to be straight on it with the safety on these electric cars as well. That's why the little lights are on the outside of the car to tell the marshals whether it's safe to touch. There are procedures in place for what the driver does inside the car should they have an off. Crash testing, and then there's a system where you can actually fire extinguishing into the battery to extinguish the battery on the inside if you need to. Neubauer retires. Ken Block is your top qualifier. Standings at the end of Q4 for Project E, the first ever round for the Electric Rallycross Series. Ken Block with 3 qualifying session wins, Herman Neubauer taking Q2, Natalie Barrett rounding out our top 3. So no semi-finals, you'll see those 3 cars on the grid for their first ever final later on today. That was an epic session, in my opinion. Absolutely amazing in the World Championship to see Ekstrom and Kristoffersson so close together. We've got another World Champion here, of course, as well this weekend, Timmy Hansen, and he's with Neil Cole.
Yeah, he's just standing over there. I wanted to say I got quite sort of emotional when hearing you and Cody going get some in that race between Ekstrom and Kristoffersson. So electrifying to watch the head hoonigan in chief putting himself as top qualifier. So yes, the Project E final coming up, semi-finals for the Euros, but most importantly, qualifying 3 coming up for our world champion, Timmy Hansen. Now, talk us through what it's been like so far today and yesterday.
It's been a bit difficult for us. I think we are the strongest when there's really high grip, and it's the gravel's quite loose, and the weather's been changing, and the track is quite dusty. So yeah, it's been slippery, and I haven't quite nailed the balance of my car yet, even though we had a whole race yesterday and today. So yeah, it's been a lot of little things, and we need to find that last little bit. But I hope now we put the finger on it. We do a small change again, and starts have been really good in general. So no, I think we can still fight back.
And also, as well as the little things, there's quite a little bit of damage. There's certainly been some contact, which is rallycross. Now, we are back on a live stream in about 45-50 minutes. Timmy, give us a reason for people to come back and watch the next live stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pushing. I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna get my revenge. So that's a good reason.
You heard it here first. Timmy Hansen's going to be pushing. Thank you, Timmy. So yes, thanks very much for watching. Join us again. We've got Euro semi-finals and finals, World RX Quali 3 and Project E final. And by the end of today, round 2 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship will be decided. Join us later.